when cephalopods were first around. There was nothing. There was no mammals yet. Nothing was out of the sea yet, and yet cephalopods were here. So they are the first. Oh, look that shit up. They are the first intelligent life form that is here. To this day, we consider ourselves the smartest living creatures, but we also say in general that is a lot of mammals. So like us and even dolphins, they're underwater, but dolphins breathe air from the top of the ocean. That is a mammal as well. And that is why they can have intelligence. Some birds have good intelligence.
Turtles.
They have some good intelligence, but...
Don't just say yeah. Turtles were here 500 million years ago, yes. Along with your little octopus.
Yes, okay. But there was nothing that had started...
That's fair. That's
what I'm getting at here that is a truth is that if you look at our tree of evolution, which you can look this up online. There's many pictures of this online. If you look up the tree of evolution, towards at the top of it, we have us, and then from us closely related, obviously, chimpanzees. Surprisingly enough, not far from that, birds. And you can work your way back down to the lizard, four-legged animal that came first out of the water and crawled on land. That is where the family tree narrows down to. And still, at that point, millions of years ago, when everything that's here now was related back to a small lizard that crawled out of the ocean as a land-walking animal, you'd have to go millions of years back down further than that from where cephalopods branched off at. Back to the worm, a small
velvet worm
that everything came from. Yeah. And that is when the cephalopod branched off into its own...
We're not unlike them.
Yes. We got them attached to us. That's very nice, Ronnie. That's the cephalopod branched off then, that far back, to create its own evolutionary branch that is so unconnected that as far as everything that's alive here does not resemble a cephalopod. Every fucking thing that lives on this planet. And as far as human beings go, there is no further away that you can get. A fly is much, much more related to us than a cephalopod is. They branched off so long ago on their own evolutionary tree that is not connected to what everything else came from on this planet, land, sea, and air. That is a stunning fact that plays directly into what the hell happened there, where they branched off. Not only that, you just need to understand how fucking smart these animals are. Their intelligence is literally on par with like a dolphin and an ape. Look up their intelligence thing, because I think the apes are more. We're obviously more intelligent. Chimpanzees are.
Some of us.
Chimpanzees are, and then dolphins are right there, and they're basically like on par with this kind of high intelligence. They know how to use tools. They know how to be social, even though they do not live in a social society. They are not mammals that stay with their babies. They don't socialize. They don't take mates that they keep. They don't move in packs. They don't do anything. They don't play with each other. They're completely solitary animals. And an interesting fact in general about intelligence is that most people think that what started actual higher intelligence in the beginning was a necessity due to being in a social construct, being a social animal. Why are some animals not intelligent at all and others are? They look and they say, because of social needs and things that come with being social. That's why.
Right.
That is the overall well accepted theory of what creates intelligence. What's the basis of it to why some animals become very smart and others are not. There is no other animal except the cephalopod that has high intelligence, but is a completely solitary animal that is not social whatsoever. And so even that is a whole nother reason of why you said over 500 million years ago when cephalopods were here. Then after that, it was basically about 350 million years ago that octopuses came to be. And about 140 million years ago is when they lost their protective shells that they used to have in the time of the dinosaurs and stuff. That they originally had a huge shell that then they started being born without the shells. And they said that their intelligence came from a need of trying to survive and a need to camouflage and a need to be intelligent and hide because they didn't have their shells anymore, whereas everything else, intelligence grew over time, being in social packs and a society where you watch others and learn from others.
You know, it actually reminds me of
and compete with others.
Yeah, it reminds me of actually an experiment that you did a few years back when you were trying to prove to me that snails were actually slugs or slugs were actually snails, and you were just sitting there ripping the shells off of the snails. And trying to perform some type of evolution in front of me.
I didn't actually do that, but that's really great. Yeah, no, and listen, you know what? That's an interesting...
This man killed so many...
I didn't kill anything! I don't eat meat! I love animals! I didn't kill a thing!
He doesn't eat them, he just fucking rips the...
You know, that's an interesting fact, since you brought that up, Ronnie, is that snails and slugs are mollusks. A lot of people thought that the octopus was a mollusk as well.
Yes, they did. That's why the earliest fossils we have are cephalopods.
And it turned out not to be true whatsoever. Yeah. In the gene studies, they are 100% not at all related to mollusks.
Is an octopus a snail?
No, they are not.
Let's force a shell on one and see what.
You know, but I think that's a great thing, is that the whole theory of intelligence needing through social constructs where you live in a pack, you know, you're around in a social society where you watch others, compete with others, learn from others, and Can
you open that for me, please? You don't have a bottle opener.
But you know, the octopus did not. The octopus, out of necessity, they think, was born into intelligence when they were starting to be born without a protective shell.
They didn't gain the intelligence until they were starting to be born.
They didn't gain the intelligence until then, and better off, they weren't technically octopuses yet.
Do you think
that's the whole thing of when the octopus, outside of the overall cephalopods, when the octopus, which is the smartest of all cephalopods and one of the smartest living creatures on this planet, came to be, that the cephalopods from over, you know, it's like 500 million years ago. Cephalopods basically losing their shell somewhere around 200 to 150 million years ago. They lost that. That is when the technical octopus came to be.